Hey, what's going on, everybody? Captain Trucker here. Welcome back to the channel. Please subscribe. So I want to talk in this video about building houses in the Philippines for your loved ones and so forth. As a foreigner, as an expat, it is possible. And what brought this to my mind is, well, I'm building a house right now, basically for my son, his mother, and so forth. And, you know, it took a while to save and so forth over the years, because even building a house in the Philippines can, depending on the size of the house and your amenities and so forth, it can cost a decent amount of cash, right? And there's ways to do it on materials and so forth without spending like a crazy amount. And you could build a nice little house, maybe 3 bedrooms, 2 stories, depending on how you do it. Try to get also solar panels and so forth, so it's self-sustained. But the reason what brought this to my mind is not just because I'm building it right now, but I saw a video recently from another vlogger, I think in Dumaguete, and I don't often watch that sort of scene, but I peer over the fence occasionally, and I don't normally comment on other people's videos and so forth, but I did want to talk about this one because I was very proud of the older gentleman for making this video, because he brought up a really good point. People have told this to me too. They're like, what are you doing building a house in the Philippines? Like, it's crazy. You know, that's a stupid idea. You can't own it as a foreigner, right? Which is all true. And it kind of comes down to the fact of, you know, as a father, or as a husband, or a boyfriend, or a lover, or part of or man in the community who has family and so forth. I mean, you kind of want to give something back to your family, like your wife and your kids and so forth. And so I do find it kind of odd when there is this mentality, like, as from a lot of expats, like, oh, don't do that, you know, don't try to build a house in the Philippines, your wife's gonna take it, her family's gonna take it, blah blah blah. And, like, you know, obviously those stories do happen, but there's a greater point here of being like a loving human being and a decent father or husband, like I said. And, you know, in this man's video, he was basically talking about how he had like a 30-year age gap with his wife, and when he's gone, he wants to give her something. And I think that's a good thing to do. You know, that's the right thing to do, because there is a lot of influences out there kind of pushing this narrative of, like, they talk about a lot of, you know, men getting scammed and this thing called simps and so forth. You know, men who grovel to get attention from women and will do anything, and they throw their life savings at Filipinas to whatever, have a relationship, on and on and on. And yeah, that can happen. There probably is cases in groups of that for different reasons. One of them being, by the time a lot of these men get to the Philippines, they've been through, you know, different things in life, ups and downs, and they've probably been beaten up by life in different ways. And yeah, sometimes some of those men can be susceptible to being mistreated or to being scammed and so forth, you know, especially if they have like unrealistic expectations. But that being said, you know, a man building a house for his wife or girlfriend or kids, that doesn't make him a pushover. That doesn't make him a sucker. That doesn't make him a simp. That makes him a man that cares about the people he loves, okay? And I think that's a point that we got to remember. But let's face it, I mean, we live in a very, like, self-preservation, individualistic mindset in this world, especially in the West, you know, because everything in our culture in America, like when we talk about even building homes, buying homes, it's always about, you know, profit and making money and selling it one day and so forth. I mean, it's always the self-interest of money, 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 right? And we forget that when we live in these cultures as foreigners, first of all, it's a different culture. It's a collective type of family unit, so people chip in, right? And it's not uncommon for in-laws to live with you and stuff like that. And that's just sort of what you're getting into. That's the way it goes. But, you know, every relationship, every man that's building a house for his loved one again, that's in many cases it's the right thing to do. And I was proud of this guy for making that sort of point about why he's doing it, because I understand the situation he's in. I mean, there's even been people close to me as of recently, like this woman that I've known for a long time. We sort of had an argument 4 months ago, for other different reasons and so forth, but anyway, and she kind of, in the heat of the argument, she goes, "Hello, you're in the Philippines." She's like, "I can't believe you bought a house, you're building a house there." She's like, "That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard." Like, she couldn't even get past that idea, you know? And, you know, it really bothered me because I had to remind her that it's not really for me. It's for the people I care about, my son. I want him to have something, you know, years and decades down the road that he can own, that he can have for his own family one day, or do whatever he wants with it. But yeah, I guess when it comes to like housing and stuff, as Westerners, we don't always think in that mindset. But I understand the cautiousness of being an older retiree with only a limited amount of money, of course, and if you get in a bad situation, throwing all your money at a Filipina or something, it may not be the best idea, certainly not. So, you know, use good judgment. And yeah, it's getting kind of exciting, like this whole process of building this house, because you know, it took a little while to get the permits and so forth, to buy the land, to get good builders and stuff. But I found a pretty cool design, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be good. And I definitely want to get solar panels, because you know, the whole house can be totally, almost nearly self-sustained. I mean, owned straight out, like no loans, no interest, none of that. It will be built and done for, really. And I think that's pretty cool, you know, especially if you can get solar panels. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. I like the idea, and I'm glad I can do it for my people, my son. And yeah, I think it's the right thing to do, you know, because I get that same thing that this gentleman was talking about in his videos. Like, people are like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, building a house for your Filipino? Are you stupid?" And it's like, it's kind of like, where's the love, man? You know, where's the love, babe? Like, we seem to forget that people can be in love. We seem to forget that people might actually love the people they're with, right? Like, not all relationships are like some financial scam or something. Like, people like might actually care about their family. They may actually care about their wife and kids. Maybe the man isn't so interested in like putting money officially, you know, in his pocket, so to speak. If the money can help the family grow, I mean, that benefits him. He's helping his family, right? So that's kind of the way we should look at some of these things. Yeah, so, but anyway, yeah, you could build different types of houses in the Philippines too. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about that in another video, but yeah, there's creative ways to build different designs and so forth. You want to know the right builders. Make sure you should probably get a contract with the builders you're working with, stuff like that. And yeah, anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to say that really quick. It's Captain Trucker. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and appreciate all the comments as usual. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.